Now the topic is principal stresses. So in principal stresses, we will study normal stresses in the plane, shear stresses in a plane that is inclined at an angle, and also other terms like in plane shear stress, absolute shear stress, pure shear, a strain, and all these things. So first of all, this is the figure that a rectangular cross section has been subjected to biaxial stress condition. So sigma x is the stress in the x direction. Sigma by is the axial stress in the by direction, and tau x by is the shear stress acting. Okay. So in this figure, you have to remember the theta inclination, means the figure that has been drawn you have to keep in mind, because all the formulas that have been written are written as per the this figure. Okay, so this figure is important one. All these sigma x, sigma y, and tau x values are the positive values. Okay, and theta is the angle that has been obtained with the x face. Okay, so this is the formula that we got. So values of stresses in the plane inclined at an angle theta with the x direction. So sigma n is the normal stress in that plane. There will be two normal stress perpendicular to each other, sigma n and sigma n dash. Both will be perpendicular to each other, normal to each other. So in that plane that has been inclined at an angle theta with the x face will have two normal stresses and two shear stresses, one shear stress, but that shear stress will be opposite nature. So one will be if tau, then other will be minus tau. So first of all, sigma n, the normal stress in that plane inclined at an angle theta, is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into cos 2 theta plus tau x by sin 2 theta. Similarly, sigma n dash, another normal stress, is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 minus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into cos 2 theta and minus tau x by into sin 2 theta. Okay, so in the above we have this plus sign, and in the sigma n dash we have this minus sign. Okay, so minus for sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into cos 2 theta and minus for tau x by sin 2 theta. Okay, in this sigma n dash. Okay, now shear stress in that plane which has been inclined at an angle theta is equal to minus sigma x, means minus of sigma x minus sigma y by 2 into sin 2 theta plus tau x by into cos 2 theta. Okay, so this is the figure, sigma x and sigma y. This is the sigma x acting in the horizontal direction and sigma y acting in the y direction. Both sigma x and sigma y are tensile stress. Okay, and tau x y and tau x y is the shear stress acting on the faces. Okay, so this is the direction of the shear stress. Okay, now location of principal plane. Okay, so principal plane is the plane in which there is no shear stress and only normal stress is acting. Okay, so location of principal plane is done by equating the tau equation is equal to 0. Okay, so the tau that we have written in the previous equation, we equate that tau to 0. Okay, then we will get tan 2 theta 1 is equal to 2 tau xy by sigma x minus sigma y. Okay, this will give theta 1. Okay, this formula will give theta 1. Then there will be another principal plane theta inclined at angle theta 2 will give theta 1 plus 90 degree, means two principal plane will be perpendicular to each other. One will be inclined at theta 1 and another will be inclined at theta 2. Okay. Now resultant stress on the in the principal plane is equal to sigma r is equal to under root of sigma n plus tau square, because both are perpendicular to each other and both are the components of sigma r, hence under root of sigma n square plus tau square. Okay. This is for one principal plane. For another principal plane, it will be sigma n dash plus sigma n dash whole square plus tau square under root. Okay. Now in plane tau max. So in plane tau max has the location theta 3 is equal to theta 1 plus 45 degree and theta 4 is equal to theta 3 plus 90 degree. Means in plane tau max will also have two locations, one at theta 3 and another at theta 4. Okay. So theta 3 is got from theta 1 adding 45 degree and theta 4 is again perpendicular to theta 3. So adding one another 90 degree. Okay. Now put the value of theta 3 or theta 4 in the tau equation and whichever you get as the maximum is the tau max. Okay. So in plane tau max is got from the tau equation by putting the theta 3 or theta 4 value. Okay. And theta 3 and theta 4 has been got by theta 1. Okay. Now sigma n means normal stress in the tau max plane is equal to sigma x plus sigma by 2, which is also equal to sigma 1 plus sigma 2 by 2. So sigma 1 and sigma 2 are sigma 1 is the major principal stress and sigma 2 is the minor principal stress. Okay. And sigma x is the stress acting in the x direction and sigma y is the stress acting in the y direction. Okay. Now shear stress in tau max plane. So shear stress in tau max plane is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2. So sigma 1 is the major principal stress, sigma 2 is the minor principal stress and half of that, which is also equal to radius of the Mohr circle. Okay. So Mohr circle we will see. Now absolute tau max. So in the previous we can see that in plane tau max is the maximum shear stress in a given plane. So if you are asked about the maximum shear stress that is in a given plane, so you will have to find in plane tau max. Okay. So in plane tau max is the maximum shear stress in a given plane. Now absolute tau max. So absolute tau max is the maximum shear stress at a given point. Okay. In plane tau max was the maximum shear stress in a given plane, but absolute tau max is a maximum shear stress at a given point. Okay. Now absolute tau max is equal to maximum among sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2, sigma 2 minus sigma 3 by 2 and sigma 3 minus sigma 1 by 2. Okay. So absolute values of these. This is the modulus that has been attached. So this will give only positive value because of the modulus. Okay. So modulus has been given. So modulus of sigma 1 minus sigma 2 by 2, modulus of sigma 2 minus sigma 3 by 2, modulus of sigma 3 minus sigma 1 by 2. Okay. So this will give you the absolute tau max. Now plane of pure shear. Okay. So plane of pure shear means it does not have any normal stresses. So as in principal plane. Okay. So principal plane is the plane which does not have any shear stress. Okay. It does not have any shear stress. So opposite to that of that principal plane is a plane of pure shear. So plane of pure shear does not have any normal stresses. Okay. So this is possible only when sigma 1 and sigma 2 are unlike in nature. Now the shear stress in the plane of pure shear, tau s star is equal to minus of sigma 1 into sigma 2 and location is put sigma n is equal to 0, then you will get the theta 5 by putting the sigma n is equal to 0, the formula that we had written in the first. So equate that sigma n is equal to 0 and then you will get the theta 5, and once you get the theta 5 you can find the theta 6 is equal to theta 5 plus 90 degree, means plus 90 degree of theta 5. Also you can also find theta 5 using theta 1 and beta. Okay. So tan beta is equal to minus of sigma 1 by sigma 2. Okay. Under root of minus of sigma 1 by sigma 2. and this their tan inverse beta will give you beta, tan inverse beta will give you beta. So add this beta value to theta 1 and then you will get the theta 5. So theta 5 and theta 6 will give you the location of plane of pure shear. Okay. Now tau s star is equal to tau max only in pure shear or pure torsion. Okay. So maximum absolute tau max or in plane tau max will be equal to plane of pure shear tau s star only in pure shear or pure torsion. Okay. When sigma 1 is equal to minus sigma 2, that happens in pure torsion. So in pure torsion we have sigma 1 is equal to tau and sigma 2 is equal to minus tau. Okay. Oblique plane. Okay. So now we will have in the figure or in a question that you are asked about a oblique plane, that a plane would be given and you have to find the stress in that plane. So you will have some sign convention for that. Okay. So shear stress on the x face is positive for clockwise. Okay. Shear stress on oblique plane is positive for anti-clockwise. Sigma x, sigma y, sigma n are positive for tensile and negative for compressive. Theta is positive when taken from x face to the plane is a clockwise. Means theta will be positive when you are taking the theta from x face to the plane in a clockwise direction. Okay. So these are the three figures. Okay. So this is the three figures given. So in the first figure you can see this is the sigma x, this is sigma y and this is sigma n. Okay. So both are of tensile nature, hence all these three are positive values. Once again, theta from x face to the plane is a clockwise. Okay. So from the x face to the plane is a clockwise, hence it's a positive value. Okay. Theta is positive when from x face to the plane is clockwise. So from the x face to the plane we have a clockwise, hence theta is a positive value. Now in the second question and this in plane, so shear stress on the x face is positive for shear stress for oblique plane is positive for anti-clockwise. So this is this shear stress, then opposite of that shear stress will be along this, and this will give you clockwise moment. This will give, this shear stress will give you a clockwise moment, because this is upwards, then one another will be along downwards, so this will induce a clockwise moment. Okay. So that's why this tau shear stress is a negative one. Okay. Because this will give a anti-clockwise, because this is going up and opposite to this shear stress the counter one will be going downwards, and this will give you a clockwise. Okay. So clockwise moment will be a negative one for a oblique plane. Okay. Because that is positive for anti-clockwise and this will be clockwise, so tau is negative. Shear stress on the oblique plane here is negative. Now in the second figure, sigma x is positive, sigma y is positive, however sigma n is negative, because sigma n is the compressive one. Okay. Sigma n is the compressive one, that's why it's a negative one. Now theta is negative because from x face to the plane it's anti-clockwise. Okay. So it's going anti-clockwise, hence it's a negative value. Okay. Now tau xy, so tau xy is negative because this is going downwards, this will go upwards, and this will give you a anti-clockwise. Okay. So shear stress on x face is positive for a clockwise, and however this will give you anti-clockwise moment, that's why tau xy is negative. Okay. Here tau xy is negative. In the third figure you have sigma y and one sigma inclined at an angle alpha. Okay. So this is the alpha. So this sigma has been divided, has been resolved into two components. Okay, so resolution of a vector. So this sigma has been resolved into two components. So sigma sine alpha and sigma cos alpha. Okay, so sigma cos alpha will give you the shear stress, and sigma sine alpha will give you the tensile stress. Okay, so this is tensile. Sigma sine alpha is tensile, that's with a positive. Sigma y is also positive, and sigma cos alpha will give you that the shear stress on the x face is a anti-clockwise moment. Okay, so it will give you anti-clockwise, that's why it's a negative one. Okay, it's a negative one because shear stress on x face is positive for clockwise, so it's a negative one. Okay, so these are the sign convention for an oblique plane. Okay, major principal stress is maximum among absolute tau, absolute sigma 1, absolute sigma 2, and absolute sigma 3. Okay, means modulus of sigma 1, modulus of sigma 2, and modulus of sigma 3. Means the magnitude should be maximum. Okay, so among 250, minus 350 and 300 Newton per meter square. Okay, three stress values are given: 250, minus 350, and 300 Newton meter per square. So sigma 1 will be minus 350 because the major principal stress should be maximum 1. Means the magnitude of the stress should be the maximum one. So in these three, you will have the maximum principal stress as minus 350. Now sigma 1 and sigma 2 means the major principal stress, and sigma 2 is the minor principal stress. So major and minor principal stress can be found using this formula also. So this formula will give sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus minus sigma x minus sigma y by 2 का whole square plus tau x by whole square under root. Okay, so plus sign for sigma 1 and minus sign for sigma 2. Okay, sigma 1 is the major principal stress, sigma 2 is the minor principal stress. Okay, now for plastic deformation, Poisson's ratio is equal to 0.5. Okay, so in any question, if you have to find out the plastic deformation, so plastic deformation has a Poisson's ratio of 0.5. Okay, so mu is the Poisson's ratio. Strain gauges are sensitive to normal strain only. Okay, example, for pure torsion, sigma 1 is equal to tau and sigma 2 is equal to minus tau. And major principal stress, major principal strain, where epsilon 1, where epsilon it's where epsilon. So where epsilon 1 is equal to sigma 1 by E minus mu into sigma 2 by E. Okay, so sigma 1 is the major principal stress, E is the Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity, mu is the Poisson's ratio, sigma 2 is the minor principal stress, E is the modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus. Okay, so thank you.